No wonder these guys want to run for this guy. No wonder why Anthony was like, okay, you better get me that move to Man United because I want to flip and play for Ten Hag again. I'm going to run my socks off for that guy. You can see why. He's smart. My guy, Anthony. Listen. If you were seeing the way that we were sourcing in pre-season, the sourcing, Anthony was the guy in the middle, just linking, making everything happen. Yeah, and that was before we even got Eriksen. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Chosen Wisdom, and yes, our boys are back. The boys are back. Fresh off the press. Ten Hag pre-match press conference, I guess, for the Man City game, and he has confirmed that Anthony Martial is back in training and Rashford is also back in training, and I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Good news before the Manchester derby that both our strikers are training. Doesn't mean they're going to be a part of the game. Doesn't mean they're going to be on the bench. Who knows, but they're back in training, so great news. Once again, off the back of the press conference, so many questions are being asked of Ten Hag about Maguire. A bit annoying from my perspective, to be honest, because Maguire simply isn't good enough. And the media just needs to accept it and move on. But once again, during the press conference, questions were asked about Maguire. So much to get into. We are going to unpack the press conference. We have the quotes right here, Ten Hag's quotes. We're going to talk about it because there's a lot to talk about, to be honest. There's a lot to be excited about. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good. I can't wait for the Man City game on Sunday. I'm going to also have a pre-match preview video going up, talking about the game, what to expect, so on and so forth as well. But guys, it's been a while and we are finally going to see another Manchester United game, the big one, and Ten Hag has been in front of the media. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's see what this guy is saying, because some of the questions, man, flipping heck, man. Before we start, as usual, guys, smash the like, turn on your notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. It's a brand new channel. I'm gonna give my thoughts after every single Man United game. I might sometimes do some press conference reactions as well. And once the channel begins to build and, begins to grow, I'm going to have people coming on the channel. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And I want to stick to just football. And I want to be as objective as I can when I watch football, when I give you guys my analysis, okay? So yeah, let's go. Smash the like, turn your notifications. Let's get into this guy's quotes because I love the way Ten Hag handles press conferences. He's like me. If you ask a silly question, I'm going to give you a silly answer. If the question warrants a short answer, I'm going to give you a short answer. If you ask me a closed question, a yes or no question, I'm going to give you a damn yes or no answer. Best believe. Ten Hag is my guy. Anyway, so what is this guy saying? My manager. My guy. All right, let's go. First of all, congratulations for the Manager of the Month award. What does that say about you, or does that say about what you are achieving as a group and Marcus as a player? Before I read you the quote, do you guys agree that he should have been Manager of the Month? I think United only played 2 games. And I know one of the games we beat Arsenal, but that September Manager of the Month and Player of the Month award is a bit suspect. And I'm happy Rashford got it because Rashford plays for Man United. And I want Rashford, even though I might not rate Rashford as highly as some other people, he still plays for Manchester United. I still want the guy to have confidence because I truly believe Rashford is a instinctive player. He doesn't have the greatest IQ in my opinion, so he relies more on instinct to play football, and he's definitely a confidence player. So Marcus Rashford winning the award, good for his confidence. Should he have won the award? I don't know. I personally think Eriksen has been better than him in the Man United team. He's been, I guess, probably one of our most, if not our most important player for me. Anyway, so, but that's his preference. And like I said, I'm glad Rashford won it anyway. But this is what Ten Hag says. You see, right, what we achieve as a group. We did it together. It tells us we are going in the right direction, but tells us further on nothing. That short in the season, we know there's a lot of space for improvement. We have to improve, but it gives us this positive that we are in the right direction, but it also tells us that we have to work really hard to get to the higher level. Listen to what I'm saying to you guys. Listen. If that was Solskjaer, he would have said, yeah, thank you. We worked hard, we're good and all these things. Ten Hag is like, hold on a second. We're not even playing anywhere near that good. This is not even my kind of football yet. I'm just getting started. So thank you for the award. But listen, these guys need to improve. And I love that. He doesn't sit on his laurels. He's not like, yeah, thank you. He's like, listen, thank you. But this shows how much harder we need to work. We're nowhere near. And that is so good because complacency can't kick in around this guy. You can't. He's like, no, it's cool. But we need to do better. I love that. And the most important thing about this quote for me is that you see, right, what we achieve as a group. He didn't claim acknowledgement of the award or say, yeah, thank you. It was all about me. The first thing this guy says is, yeah, it wasn't me. It's a team. It's a team award. And I love that. I love that because if you are a player right now watching your manager's press conference and the first thing your manager says is, it's all the players really. The players won the award. No wonder these guys want to run for this guy. No wonder why Anthony was like, okay, you better get me that move to Man United because I want to flip and play for Ten Hag again. I'm going to run my socks off for that guy. You can see why. He's smart. He's not a Jose. He's going to say, yeah, it's all about me. He's smart. And I love this quote. I love it. Anyway, the next question. Also, Rashford, he didn't even mention Rashford's name. He doesn't really like talking about players individually unless he has to. He doesn't, and that's also a good thing. Second quote, or second question. Any injuries and absentees for the City game? We have injuries following the international break. Harry Maguire is injured, which we know. And I think for the rest, we have some doubts with Anthony Martial. But he was in training all week with the group, so I'm really happy with that situation. He is performing really well in training. He makes a good impression in training, so we are also happy with that. And for the rest, only the long-term injuries like Axel Tuanzebe and Brandon Williams, they are not available. Praise be the Lord. Hallelujah. My guy, Anthony. Listen. If you are seeing the way that we are sourcing in pre-season, the sourcing, Anthony was the guy in the middle, just linking, making everything happen. Yeah. And that was before we even got Eriksen. This is what I'm trying to say to you lot. Yeah. People forget how good this guy is very quickly. As soon as he's out the team, as soon as he's not, in the limelight, as soon as he does something wrong, people just forget how good this youth is. Martial's the best striker we have in the squad. End of story. If you don't understand that, maybe this channel's not for you. And the fact that, it doesn't mean he's going to play tomorrow. I mean, he might not even start tomorrow. He might not even be in the squad. But he's training, and that surely is good news because Rashford is, he's done his part. He's done his part. He scored his goals, and that's all you can ask of Rashford. Despite what I might think of him as a player, he's done his job. He's played up front, even though he's not the best striker, and he scored goals, and he offers a threat that way, with his speed. He has lost a bit of speed since his back injury, but he still has that athleticism, and he offers a lot up front. So he's done his part, but Martial is the guy. Martial can go that way, but Martial can also come back this way. Martial can drop and say, okay, cool. I'm going to control the ball better than Ronaldo does. And rather than just get the ball and just pass it back, I might get the ball, I might just feint this way, then turn and face my striker. The way he did Van Dijk, right, in the Liverpool game. When he dropped, he feinted to the left and he turned to the right. Van Dijk was gone. Van Dijk was like, oh. And that's what Martial can do that many strikers in the league can't do. So good news that Martial is coming back. I am happy. I'm a Martial fan. You know, I don't get some of the stick he gets. I really don't. But great news. And I like the way the manager talks about Martial. Anytime you notice this guy talks about Martial, he's bright. He looks, he's happy. You know, he was training well. I'm happy with the situation. He's performing well. He's making a good impression. This guy's in love with Martial. He is. You could tell. Martial wasn't even like fit, and he still played him for 45 minutes against Liverpool. And Martial set up the second goal for Rashford, I think. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, what do you think of that quote? Let me know. Let me know. All right, next question. A lot was said about Harry Maguire. It seems that anything that goes wrong, he will get blamed for it. Do you have to defend him and protect him? I didn't like this question because this question was so assumptive and loaded. It seems that anything goes wrong, he will get blamed for it. According to who? According to you. I'm not going to lie to you. There is a bit of bullying of Harry Maguire going on. And if you're somebody who thinks Harry Maguire is not good enough, great, he's not good enough. But if you're somebody who's like taking it personal or personally and, you know, attacking his family and going overboard, then you've got to think, you know, hold on a second. It's football. Man is playing a sport. He's kicking a ball on a piece of grass. So let's also, on this channel, try to remain, you know, or give perspective, the correct perspective. Let's not abuse people. That's all I'm saying. If they're not good enough, they're not good enough. Let's say it. But there's no. But the thing is, I don't even see a lot of abuse. I see criticism. I see people literally saying you're crap. You're not good. So I don't know. These questions about Harry Maguire, you know, kind of, you know, I wouldn't say annoying me, but it was frustrating that the manager has to sit here and sort of defend Harry Maguire. He's just not good enough, and he's not going to start for Manchester United Football Club. Just get it into our heads, please, media, please, so we can just move on. Anyway, these are Ten Hag's quotes. First of all, of course, I have to coach him. I have to back him, but I back him because I believe in him. In the period I've worked with him, his pre-season was good. I would say really good in training and in games. Then he falls out of the start 11, but it's also to do with the good performances of the centre-backs that are playing now. They're playing better than him. It's okay. That's basically what he's saying. Anyway, continue. But I can see the qualities, and even after he was not in the team, he trained really well. But more importantly, the quality was really there, and you can see his career. He has almost 50 caps for England. With Leicester, with Man United, he's performing really well. So that's what you see. He has a high potential. And then it's about him. All right. So you can see he has high potential, and then it's about him. So he's got to do the work. Continue the quote. Then players in the dressing room, the coaches, the manager, we all believe in him. And now it's about him and that is what I told him. I'm sure he will do it and he will turn around. I'm really convinced of that. I love Ten Hag. Do you know what is good about this whole quote? Ten Hag is basically saying everything is him. If he wants to get back in the team, it's him. If he wants to, you know, continue being captain, it's him. It's a player. I don't control how good he is. I don't control the fact that he's not that quick and not that mobile. That's not my control. I can train him all I want. There's some things that it's him. So only him. And I love that because he's like, it's nothing to do with me. Like, yeah, I mean, mental health part and whatnot, yes, that's important. But it's him. It's Maguire's responsibility to play well, essentially. And Ten Hag is not going to come out and say, I'm not backing him. I don't think he's good enough. No manager does that unless you're, I don't know, Jose Mourinho. So he's saying, listen, I have to coach him. I have to get him back. I have to do my part. But after I do my part, it's him. The way Ten Hag does his press conference, the way he managed the press conferences, especially when the questions are stupid. I love it. My guy, my manager. Anyway, next quote. Just in terms of Manchester City, most people would regard them as the benchmark for the teams in the Premier League. What is your view of them and Guardiola and going and facing that? Okay, this is a bad boy response, yeah? Our approach is first look to ourselves. Why are you telling me about Man City and how to be fearful of them and whatever? No. My approach is my team. That's the mentality of a bossful top manager. That's when you know Man United are changing. We're no longer okay. Let's be defensive. Let's make sure that they don't score. Let's do the of course. But Ten Hag is saying, listen, let's work on ourselves. Let's look at ourselves because we can be on the offensive. We are a top team now. We want to be a top team, and it's like a more of a hunter mentality rather than a prey mentality. Does that make sense to you guys? And I like that. I like it. Anyway, continue the quote. Our approach is first to look at ourselves, and the approach for Man United is we want to win every game, and that message I've already told several times here. He's changing. What this guy's doing is changing the levels and expectations. We've gone from Ollie saying trophies are only for, I don't know, egos. He said trophies are only for egos. So we've gone from that to we want to win every damn game. And some of you guys wanted Ollie and to stick with mediocrity. I don't understand this country's love of mediocrity. I just think identity politics is so strong. They'd rather see somebody in charge that makes you feel good because of some sort of nostalgia than get the best. Then get the very, very best. Anyway, let's continue. Yeah, speaking of continue, the aim for Sunday is nothing else. We have to perform our best and we have to put out our way of playing, our rules, our principles. We have to do our best, and of course we will make a good plan, and that is about the execution, and we have to do it. We know that if we want to get a result, we have to do it 100% well. Breath of damn fresh air, breath of fresh izzle, we're a top team. We're going to play our way, imprint our style of football. Man, Ten Hag. What else can I say about that? Erik, what do you know about the Manchester derby and what does it mean to you to be involved in it? He's not going to say anything negative, so he's going to wax lyrical about the derby. So he states, I played in many derbies and I know what derbies are. With rivals, with what they do to each other, I think and I know it's the most important game in the Manchester area for the fans. It excites me. You want to be involved in these games because it gives you a good vibe, it gives you energy, and you do everything to win the game. That's a typical quote. I got nothing to say about that, to be honest. He said what he had to say. Cool, that's fine. How do you prepare for Erling Haaland? And I love this response as well. We don't play against Haaland. We play against Manchester City. That's what he said. That's the first thing he said. My guy. Why are you telling me? Why? Things about the media wants a story. The media wants to sensationalize things and create a narrative. And how do you prepare for this player and Haaland? Because they want to make it into a movie. Football's not about that. That's not what football's about. And these managers that are very scientific, they're very intellectual, the way they approach things. They're not just like I'm not saying the old managers were stupid, but, I can imagine the old managers were less tactical and they were just like, listen, play to your strengths, do this, do that. These new managers are methodical. They're academics. They probably got degrees and all these things. So they understand the psychology of the game as well, these new breed of managers. So I love that response. It's like, we don't play against Haaland. What the heck? We play against Manchester City. Haaland can't pass the ball to himself and score. Brenner exists. Bernardo Silva exists. These people are real. They're real people who play football for Man City. So it's not just 11 Haalands. Imagine a team of 11 Haalands. Who's passing the ball? Who's controlling the ball? So chill out. Relax. We're playing against Man City. And I love that first line of the response. Anyway, to continue the quote. They have a team and more than 11 players, but we do as well. I love that. Every time it's why we're boss. We're bad. We're not conceding goals. We are convinced of our capabilities, and if we act as a team in and out of possession, then you can beat such opponents. That is the belief. We have to get with us when we line up, when we start the game, and when and we need it over more than 90 minutes. So where we have to get with us when we line up, when we start the game, and we need it over more than 90 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I have to reread that quote. I had to reread that quote because the way Ten Hag speaks, it's not. They've not like paraphrased this quote. They've literally typed exactly what he said. And of course, Ten Hag's English, while it's really good, it's not always complete. So when you read it, you're like, what? There's a few words missing there, but that's fine. I mean, I fully understand what he's saying there. Like I said, we're playing against Man City. He's deflecting a little bit. He's saying, listen, it's not just one player. Perfect answer. Question about the mental health of the players, but it's of top football. It's an once again, but it's an expectation of top football. It's an expectation of our work, so we set conditions for that as management. We also have experts around to help and to coach the players and the team in the right direction. Cool, and that's good to know. It's basically saying, we expect there to be mental health concerns with regards to footballers. That's now become very part of the game, and we understand that now. But we also need to understand that as a team and as a management team, we have a responsibility to look after their mental health. So how that's done in practice, I don't know. But theoretically, it looks like they've got that under control, I guess. How is Harry Maguire doing is another question that was asked in a press conference. So I'm like, Harry Maguire. Anyway, I think he's doing quite well, but for every player, there's room for improvement. So once again, you want to talk about Harry Maguire, but I'm going to make this question about everyone. If he believes in his skills, he will quickly back on the level, he will be quickly back on the level, even more than he did. Once again, I'm convinced of that because I see his capabilities. It's really high. Cool. And last question or last quote I have here is: you've gone from losing the first 2 games to being the manager of the month. How would you sum up the progression to where we are now? Football, and these are the quotes, football is a daily rate, I would say. So football's all about the result, and then the daily rate is the positivity or the negativity. I see it more in a pattern. I see it more in the long term. So you can start to see how he thinks and how his brain works. He's very intelligent. The way he answers the questions, he's not saying, "Oh, the lads are really good today. The lads played well on Rashi," or like you can tell that he has intelligence, mate. The way he speaks. Anyway, let's continue. I think we played really good in pre-season. So then in the first 2 games, head down, or we had our head down. You see already the base we made in pre-season. Then we win, obviously, 4 games in the Premier League. So we are happy with that, but also we still see lacks in our game. We have to improve, and that's what we are working on day by day. So that was a press conference, and those were the official Ten Hag quotes in the press conference. I think he handled it really well. As I mentioned before, I do enjoy Ten Hag's press conferences. If you ask him silly questions, he'll give you silly answers. If you ask him closed questions, he'll give you closed answers. He's not on any foolishness. He isn't. He really isn't. I just feel sorry for him because he's going to have to defend, or I feel like he's had to defend his decision of dropping Maguire too much. And the thing is, people can see that we're playing better, but they still want to push this Harry Maguire agenda. And it's really, really interesting to see. And I want you guys to continue to observe that, because I love looking at the psychology of football, the psychology of the media, how they work, what stories they tell, what stories they decide to not tell, what rhetorics they try to build for each footballer to try to get you to think negatively or positively about the footballer. Maguire's done the most amount of stuff, but the media still try to print positive things about him, while another player could just have blue in their hair. And just because you've got blue in your hair, the media prints something ridiculous like, he's not taking football seriously, or, So I like to understand psychology and the mindset of the media and how the relationship between the media, the footballers, the agents, and how the fans also get manipulated by the media. Like, you can be watching something and you can see with your eyes what's going on. You read something that is in opposition to what you see, but it's still, it makes you hate the footballer. So I love thinking about the psychology of stuff. And for me, it looks like Ten Hag is trying to manage that psychology. He's deflecting when he needs to deflect. I mean, Jose was quite good at it too, but Jose was, when Jose needed to, he'll throw his players under the bus. I think Ten Hag doesn't throw his players under the bus in the way that Jose would do it. I think Ten Hag does it in a more sly way. He exposes the players. Okay, cool. I'm not going to say you're crap in the press or you're rubbish to the press, but I'll play you, and they will very, very slowly, but very, very surely see that you're not good enough. And that's all you can do, and that's all you should do as a coach. At the same time, you have to support that player and try to make that player better, as you mentioned with Maguire. But you can't teach Maguire to be quicker. You can't teach Maguire to be more mobile, which is what you need. And if we're being honest, guys, also, Maguire doesn't have the speed. For me, siren. They're trying to get Maguire. Anyway, for me, Maguire doesn't have the speed of thought. That's why I always talk about the speed of thought. In order to play that quick football, quick, you have to have the speed of thought, speed of mind. You have to have that IQ. And I don't think Maguire has the speed of thought. Maguire comes across as a guy that needs to always take 2 or 3 touches. Where Alessandro, you can see Martinez, bam, pass, round the corner, pass, bang, whiz in to feet, step into the midfield. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Good interview by the manager. The derby's on Sunday. I'm going to have my pre-match preview coming up in the next day, probably on Saturday. I'm going to probably talk about the team that I would pick. Rashford and Martial back in training. Doesn't mean they're going to start. Doesn't mean they're going to play. I don't think they're going to start. I wouldn't be surprised if... Do you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if Ronaldo started, but I wouldn't even be surprised either if Sancho started up front and Elanga and Anthony were on the wings. Because I think that's how we ended against Sheriff. And I remember Ten Hag said he was trying something. So if Martial and Rashford are not fit, I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy like that happens. But who knows? Who knows? We're going to talk about that in the next video. That's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Share this video, like it, subscribe. We're going to have more content. Like I said, I'm going to react to every match, let you know my thoughts. We're going to do some post-match, pre-match stuff, potentially some, of course, at the moment we're doing a reaction to the interview that Ten Hag does. So we're going to have some reactions as well to interviews. But yeah, we're going to do a lot of things on this channel. We're going to continue to grow. At the moment, not a lot of subscribers, but I know this content is good. I know this content is good. And, we're going to only get better. We're going to only get better. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you've had a good week. And I will see you soon.